Hello, it's Mr. Rops here, and we're going to do this problem here about a motorboat. S is 10 kilometers north of M. So if it's north, here's my scenario. I'm going to have a motorboat here is M, and up here is S, and it is 10 kilometers away. The ship is traveling northeast, so it is traveling northeast here, and so that is 45 degrees. Which means this is 135 degrees. They add up to 180. The motorboat wishes to intercept the ship, and it moves with a constant velocity of 30 kilometers an hour. So it wants to go here and meet up here where they intercept. So I know that it's going 30 kilometers an hour, and this is 20 kilometers an hour. And so if I go 20 kilometers times t, the speed times time, that will give me the distance, and 30t will also give me the distance that this has to travel. And I want them to meet up here. So I have a triangle, and it says, what direction does M have to go? So I'm looking for theta. So what I can do then is I can do the sine law and say sine of theta over 20t over 20t is equal to the sine of 135 over 30t. Now if I rearrange that, I'm going to multiply by 20t over here. Sine theta will be 20t over 30t sine of 135. And from here I know I can cancel out the t's, I can cancel out the zeros, and then I can just go to my calculator and figure out what theta is going to be. Make sure I'm in degrees. I'm in degrees, so I'm going to go second sine 2 times the sine of 135 divide 3. Oh, let me finish off this, divide 3. And I get theta is 28.1 degrees. So this is 28.1 degrees. So the bearing is 028.1. Okay, so there's A part. Now B part says at what time? So I want to find t and then convert it into relative to 12 p.m. at which this point happens. And so this is the actual triangle it's going to be. And so if I'm going to do that, I have several options. I like to use scenarios that I have. So I'm going to try to avoid use this because maybe I made a computation error. And so if I do this, I can use the cosine rule where I have 135 and 30t and I have the three sides. So I can say that 30t squared is equal to 20t squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 20t times 10 cosine of 135. And so 900t squared is equal to 400t squared plus 100 minus 40t. 40 times 10 is 400t times the cosine of 135. And if I rearrange this, I'm going to subtract the 900 over, so I get 0 is equal to negative 500t squared minus 40t times the cosine of 135 plus 100. And I'm going to use this to solve for t. And I know t has to be positive because it's time, so I'm going to use my Poly simultaneous. Go to number 4 here. Root finder. I'm going to check I am in degrees here. This is something I've just learned. Radians are degrees in here. Doesn't matter what the mode is from here. It's Poly simultaneous. This has to matter. So I go next, and so I go negative 500. And I can go negative 400 cosine the 135. And finally 100. Enter, and I can solve that. And I know I want the positive one, and so t is 0.81199. So that's hours. I want, the question is asking me for the nearest minute. So if I take this value and I multiply it times 60, so if I get out of here, I go 0.81199 times 60, gives me 49 minutes. So 0.81199 is equal to 48.7, which is approximately 49 minutes. And so I know at 12:49 they will meet.